Hello everybody and welcome back to our lectures, a Fast Fact series, sorry about that. And this Fast Fact will be on the Xiongnu. The Xiongnu were a nomadic band, and they were true nomads, having no permanent camps, having no cities, not practicing agriculture, living pretty much on horseback. And there's a lot of controversy surrounding the Xiongnu. For one, they were the biggest problem for Emperor Wu of the Han. Emperor Wu launched repeated expeditions against these nomadic peoples. He launched repeated expeditions against nomadic peoples to the north of his empire, but in particular he was targeting the Xiongnu. They were a confederation of tribes, and they were fierce warriors who fought almost exclusively from horseback, a very common trait for Central Asian nomads. Now, the controversy surrounding them exists because the Xiongnu are thought to be the ancestors, or at least the greater federation that the Huns were a part of. Remember, I said earlier in our fast fact that the Xiongnu were a confederation of tribes. It's really a gray area to whether the Xiongnu were the Huns, or if the Huns were a part of the Xiongnu confederation, or if there's any link between the Huns and the Xiongnu at all. And we'll discuss the Huns at length in a different lecture later on in our lecture course, and then also we'll discuss the Huns later on in a separate fast fact. Now, the Xiongnu, as I stated, they were true nomads. They do not establish any permanent cities or camps, only temporary settlements, only temporary resting stops where they can meet, trade, and discuss where they're going to raid, and other prominent issues that would need to be addressed by all of the tribal leaders. Now, the Xiongnu, they specialized in horseback archery, a skill that was honed at a very young age among them. Now, Emperor Wu mounted a very expensive campaign to subdue the Xiongnu, but because he lacked target sites or a territory to conquer, they were nomads. They were constantly on the move, so he couldn't just invade a region and subdue them. And because they were always on the move, because they were always making temporary camps, he had no cities or settlements to target, to attack, to bring them to their knees. Now, because of all of those factors, he could not pin them down and defeat them either in a decisive battle or in a series of battles. Now, despite their evasiveness, Wu was able to drive the Xiongnu out of Imperial China and keep them out. He established a series of fortified outposts as deterrents to future incursions by Xiongnu bands. Now, this strategy was only partly successful, as various nomadic bands still continued to raid the western borders of at this point it would be the Han Dynasty's empire. Now, that will conclude our fast fact on the Xiongnu. Hit like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you thought about it. We'll address the controversy of what the Xiongnu and the Huns a little later. It's a fascinating discussion to sort of just sit in on. Very passionate supporters on both sides. As always, I'm Ted. Hit like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll talk. And I'll see you guys next time for another fast fact.